But I just keep hearing revival and the Shekinah glory that's going to come upon this ministry and this place. And there's going to be no room coming soon. The seats will be full. And I heard the Lord say, get ready to expand your tent pegs because the capacity for this building will be too small, or at least for this specific location right here in this sanctuary. And I was hearing for you, Prophet, Dr. Apostle Praveen, Haggai 2, 20 through 23, about the Lord searching over and finding a king that was worthy of the signet ring. And he says that he has placed that mantle on you. I actually have several pages of prophecy at home, and I've been waiting for you to call upon me. So now that you have, I'll bring it, if you're okay with that. But I just want to pray blessing over everyone here. And I felt during the beginning of the service, before we started to worship, that there was a lot of people whose hearts were heavy and there was a lot of weariness. And the Lord was speaking, don't worry, because I've got you. I've got every one of you. No matter how deep, no matter how dark the despair is. I know for me personally, God has brought me to the lowest place in my life, but I've never felt so great over the last several months as he's brought me closer to him and stretched my faith, and I'm watching what he's doing when I've allowed him to strip me of everything that I've been and yielding totally to him. So I wanted to encourage you guys that God is moving, and he's moving for Canada. That Canada will not be lost, and Canada is not going to be forsaken. And it was almost 3 years ago this January, I had a vision of, I want to be careful of the name I say, but one of the highest political officials with their head hung in shame, hands behind the back in handcuffs. So I just want to encourage everybody to know that God is working behind the scenes, and that no matter how things look, God is moving. And I see his spirit moving greatly in Canada. I know I got a phone call today, and I've been asked to come and speak at a big conference. You prophesied that, thank you, in January. And there are going to be ministries that are coming back to life, and that the glory of God and his fire is going to sweep across this nation. And there's going to be a lot of people set free and healed. And I just pray that his spirit moves through every one of you, and that there's going to be divine appointments and divine alignment with people that are lost and broken and sick. And please don't be shy. I've had God in the middle of the grocery store, in restaurants, to the waitress, to whoever. You wouldn't believe the places, in the doctor's office, and lay hands and prophesy and pray over people. So be bold in his spirit, because the Lord wants to use you to touch lives. Glory to God.
Hello, everyone. I just want to encourage you guys. You know, the Bible says, taste and see that the Lord is good. And when you spend time with Jesus and you encounter him, it raises your hunger, like, man, I want more. And I just want for you guys so much just to hunger and thirst after the things of God. You know, like really going after God, really pressing in and seeking him, seeking his face. You know, one of the biggest things that you can do is to, like, the biggest thing is just putting God first, like that first love, like, Lord, I'm going to chase you with everything I got. That is the foundation of everything you'll ever do. If you have that correct, if you have that, God, I'll chase you, you know, like I'll go after you, like that, everything else will fall in place. Like, ministry will fall in place, things in your life will fall in place. And I just want to encourage you to press in and seek after God and stir up that hunger. You know, like we seek God, not only just spending time with Him and talking to Him and worshiping Him and stuff like that, but also getting in the Word and spiritual disciplines and, you know, just dig into the things of God and really go after God. Like, yeah, just stir up that fire. And like we should be people that our passion is growing each day. And sadly, people get saved and they start out with fire. And then time goes on, it kind of gets lukewarm, you know, but we have to return to our first love. We have to return to that place where Jesus is everything to us, just like when we were first saved, when we would do anything for Him. You know, like I remember when I was first saved, I would do crazy things. And we have to be that people that have that first love passion. And so I just want to encourage you, go after God with all your heart. Like start off sprinting and run into eternity right into His arms, you know? So thank you.
It's really encouraging to hear everybody's testimonies here, how they have their encounters with God. When Praveen kind of asked me to join his ministry here, it was, I prayed about it for a while, thinking about it, if I could handle the responsibility of coming every week and doing what I was asked to do. I mean, I haven't got much experience back there at audiovisual, but I just knew the Lord was calling me to be part of this ministry. And it was interesting, before this, I was looking for encounters with God. I wanted to hear from Him, I wanted prophecy, I wanted all the miracles that were in the Bible. And since I've become part of Praveen's ministry, basically once I first joined up, I started having dreams about Praveen in the ministry and seeing the Lion of Judah in the sky in the dreams and Praveen going out and battling in the dreams. And I was always talking to Praveen, what's all this mean for me? Because I've got a wild imagination. I'm dreaming, I can think up all kinds of crazy ideas, you know, I got ideas I want to do in the natural. But I wanted God's dreams in my life, what I was supposed to do, where I was supposed to be, who I was supposed to allow into my life, who I was supposed to speak maybe dreams I've had about some people in this room. And it was I was nervous, like, this dream doesn't make sense. So I run a lot by Praveen and say, you know, what is all this? And he's basically telling me I'm in the spirit realm. I was like, wow, that's cool. So I dream so much, and I just try to filter what God's doing in my life, this ministry, and sister prophesying about Praveen growing this business. I mean, it's something I've always talked to Praveen about. You know, I wanted to do tent meetings. We've always seen revival in tent meetings. And so we had the first one at Praveen's backyard, and I thought that was pretty cool. But I still see bigger tent meetings where we go into the middle of a city or something like that, and we just do what we see all the previous prophetic people do, Oral Roberts and the big guys that are over in America or Africa having 100,000 people meetings, right? And I think that's coming here to Canada too. And I believe this ministry's, you know, something that can start that, where we start showing up in city centers or parks, asking for permits to rent tents and stuff like that. So I'm really encouraged when I hear Sister saying this place is going to be full. And Praveen and I have had talks about outgrowing this place, looking for churches, looking around, seeing what's next. So this ministry and what everybody has been hearing, wherever else you get information from, is God's moving. He's definitely moving through America. You're seeing background stuff going on. Sister mentions about people being taken down, justice coming. It's coming. They are going to hang their head in shame in the future. We're seeing a lot of stuff, and whether you look at the natural of what's going on in the political realm, you're seeing things happen there. But besides all that and worrying about that and following that, I'm just watching what God's doing, and I know He's going to be doing something big here in Praveen in this ministry. So it's the place to be if you're really hungry for God.